Hello and welcome, all the losers, freaks, and social outcasts, to yet another episode of the E-CEL podcast, your source for all things e-punk and Incelcore. I'm your host, Figs, and I thank you for tuning in. I'd like to give a much deserved thank you to the guys who've made this project possible, namely Not Okay Ghost, Loser Girlfriend, Fools, Strepsiades, State Surveillanced, Cringer, and Parzival. They've been great friends and great musicians, so make sure you follow them on Soundcloud and show them some love. I know my voice sounds a little weird. I've been dealing with a cold the past week that's had me coughing, and I've torn up my vocal cords. But I'm still the same great host that you know and love, so don't worry about me, folks. Make sure you guys follow the show here on YouTube. Give us a subscribe and like this episode and the other ones. You have to go back and watch the other episodes too. But more importantly, follow us on Twitter at E-CEL Network. That account is going to be like an aggregate source for all of the various happenings in the scene, and also where you can be notified when a new episode of this comes out. And of course, follow us on BitChute for short sections of the podcast that we might have to cut out so we don't get banned off YouTube. Or at least check the BitChute channel after each upload. I know no one uses BitChute, but that's like the only other place I could think to upload sensitive clips to. So links to everything will be in the description below, obviously. I hope everyone enjoyed the last interview we had with the big names of Incelcore promoting their new comp album Farmyard. If you haven't seen it, please go to our channel and watch it. It came out great, and it was awesome talking with those guys, especially after I'd been listening to them for so long. I'm kind of a fangirl, so it was really an awesome experience. If you are an artist or, have a comp album that you're setting up, or just even a solo album that you want to promote, please let us know. We'd love to do shows like that in the future to help you guys. Obviously, it helps us, but, when we succeed, we want everybody to succeed with us. One more thing that I wanted to talk about. Has anybody besides me noticed how incredibly obvious it is that the scene is coming back in a big way? You have women and normies who've parasitically attached themselves to the genre, posting on Twitter or in the Discords or the subreddit saying, duh, this scene is dead and gone. It's a corpse. It's over. It's done for. Yeah, your version of the scene is definitely dead, you dumb broad. I'm pissing on its ashes right now, okay? Your version is dead. Our future does not involve women, and it doesn't involve these normgroid retards. All right, I see Fried blowing up on TikTok. I see a new giant comp album set to release soon. I see a wealth of new, fresh, interesting, and funny talent in the Incelcore underground. And I see projects like the E-CEL podcast here, or cool edits of Incelcore songs, or talented artwork related to the scene, or just generally good postings on like Twitter and YouTube by people connected to the scene. So you've heard it here first, folks. The scene is thriving. The West is rising. We are back. It's gonna be an incel summer, all right? The summer of the incel, and you were here at the ground floor of it. I'm excited, and I hope you are too. Speaking of exciting, I'd like to introduce my co-host for this episode. His unique musical style, combined with song topics that are actually relatable to the average NEET or the terminally online, makes him one of the most underappreciated, relatively new artists on the scene. He's a man with no filter and a great profile picture. It's my pleasure to introduce to you Strepsiades. Strep, welcome to the show.
Hey, thanks. Yeah.
So, first of all, did I pronounce your name right? Strepsiades?
No one pronounces it right. I always, yeah. It's just Strepsiades, like
Strepsiades. Okay. Is that like a philosopher from like Greece or something, or what?
Close. He's a character from a play that made fun of Socrates, I think. It was either Plato or Socrates. The guy who had to drink the poison. But yeah, that play led to his death because it defamed him so much.
So why did you choose that guy of all people?
Oh, he's a tax evasion man, so I thought it was funny.
Okay, sweet. Well, awesome, dude. So I said that you're like relatively new to the scene. Your first upload on SoundCloud was 1 year ago. Was that your like first foray onto Incelcore or what?
Yeah. I'd been listening to it for maybe a year or two before then, but around then I was like, I don't know, I like this enough. I want to, become a part of it. I was like very it was super relatable. It still is now to me. But yeah.
Sure. Okay. I mean, I've like that's what I like the most about your music is that so many guys in this scene make songs about like lost love or oh I still miss her or things like that. But yours are always very unique and fresh topics that you stay on. It's very
Yeah.
refreshing.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just like I don't have a lot of those sorts of like love type stories to even talk about. Like, so it's just like I don't see the point in writing about it if I have no experience.
Well, exactly. I mean, that's why none of mine are about it either. And I mean, that's sort of the name of the genre, right? I mean, it's in the
Yeah.
name.
And there's
But
so much stuff to talk about too.
I know it. There's so much. I mean, you got people like Penguin Band or Pre-Ripped. I mean, they could make songs for the rest of their lives, and I'm sure they wouldn't run out of things to talk about because they don't focus on girls. It's
For
um,
sure.
a great way to keep it fresh. I did have one more question for you. What are your biggest musical influences? Because your sound is very. I don't. It's hard to put my finger on it. It reminds me of something. Uh,
Um that's an interesting question. There's a lot of different people I would say that I'm like ripping off in a sense.
Ripping off.
Because yeah, I like to call it ripping off because like I didn't make any of this shit up. Like I'd say almost everything musically nowadays is just taken from someone else. Anyways, but just spun in a different way, and I don't think there's a problem with that. But
True.
most of what I've listened to my whole life is just like old punk from like the 70s and post punk and the 80s and whatnot. And I've always really liked that sort of stuff, like Joy Division, Fugazi, uh, that sort of stuff. And then when I heard Incelcore for the first time with like the Negative XP and the MSG stuff, I was like, damn, like this is like actually relatable now.
Sure.
So I was just like, I might as well just make post inso core. I don't know. Don't tag your stuff that it's gay as fuck. But like, um, yeah, I don't know. It just sounded like a cool thing to do. And there's like a few other people who make similar-ish stuff, like Steak Fry, for instance. I was listening to him a ton right before I started Strepsiades.
Definitely. I was actually just about to say it. I think your music most reminds me of like Steak Fry and also Hallowed, right?
Oh yeah, actually, do you know what's funny? I only discovered Hallowed like a few months ago.
Really?
Yeah, like I didn't know he existed, but what's funny is I've been making music similar to him for like a long time.
Yeah.
So I'm like, "Oh, I know all your influences already."
Well, that's cool. Great minds think alike, I guess.
Yeah, I
Well,
guess.
great to have you on, man. I think this is going to be good. Before we dive into the actual interview with Attire here, we're going to have some news to go over. The biggest piece of news that we got to talk about is that NEET's server, his Discord server, which was made for the entire scene, he posted invite links all over on the subreddit, on Twitter, other Discords. He deleted the server actually just recently, just the other day.
Thank God.
Yeah, I'm sure not everybody's going to be super torn up about it. I guess when he deleted it, he did one last at everyone message and said, this is what the message said, word for word. Quote, all in all, it was a good run. Server getting deleted now. Stream Farmyard on the 30th. So one last plug, for a
Gotta
send off.
gotta make that cheddar.
Yeah,
Did you ever get into that server at any time?
look, I like Neat and I like Fried and all them, but I knew it was a bad idea to get into that. So I never joined. Um,
Yeah.
I heard that it was flooded with e-girls and also other unsavory individuals, so I never joined it.
Yeah, I can confirm.
So you
Lot of
were in
Foy.
there.
For a while. I left because oh, uh, I don't know. I'm trying to like self-censor myself, but I'm so bad at that. There were so many in there, dude. Like it was so bad, and eventually it just turned into like heart clones and foids, and that was it.
Oh, geez. Gotcha.
Yeah, but I don't know. There was a short stint of time when like Maniac and Lil Watermark were talking a lot. That wasn't too bad, but there was always like a static of just foids shouting for attention.
Really? Were they like face posting and stuff or
No, it was just really fucking annoying. It was just like I couldn't even tell. The thing is, like, you know, the classic meme of like every woman on the internet is actually just a guy farming for nitro.
Yeah. Yeah,
That's
they're
kind of how I felt about that sort of stuff. I think the only actual Foyd in there was Raven, but everyone kept shitting on her for having an OnlyFans. So at least we have some sort of standard. But
Oh, wow.
yeah,
Okay. Um, and I keep hearing, I don't know if you were in there long enough to see this because I think this was later on, but I keep hearing from other people allegations that there was illegal material being posted in there or even sent via DMs to other members.
I
Um,
can't speak for DMs because I don't really talk to anyone. But yeah, I wouldn't know about any of illicit materials.
okay. Whenabouts did you leave? You said you were in there a few weeks?
No, I was in there for a while.
Really?
Like several months, I think.
Gotcha. Yeah, I'm not sure because
I
obviously
think I
there's a
left a
lot
month
of
or 2 ago
okay.
because it was just giving me a headache.
Sure. It's hard to tell on this scene who's just blowing smoke and who's being honest about it. But so many people have told me this. I can't help but feel there's some truth to it about this
There very
illicit
well could be
material. Yeah.
because, you know, I wouldn't put it past anyone
Right,
not
right.
to.
And I guess it wasn't very well moderated. Do you agree with that too?
Yeah, a lot of gay black
Wow. Okay.
lot of it.
Awesome. Yeah, it seems everybody, even when we interviewed those for last week or a couple weeks ago, they they seemed themselves to agree that the server sort of deteriorated over the course of its life. I mean, Hart said he straight up just left, and Neat himself, I mean, the owner, he said he barely uses it. So clearly, everybody was in agreement. It wasn't long for this world.
For sure. What I find funny about Hart's statement is he was so active when I was in there. Like he
Really,
talked more than the normies, dude. Like
really.
yeah, I mean, not to diss Hart or anything. It was just like, bro, like how long can you talk? Like
Well, he seems like a very outgoing guy from my
yeah,
interactions with him. He probably carried most of the interactions with the server, huh?
yeah. Yeah, especially in VC.
Oh, really?
Yeah. What do I remember my interaction with him? Yeah, he asked what our favorite cereal was
Okay.
over and over.
Over and
And
over.
then yeah,
Oh, why?
I don't know. He like ended the VC after that.
Oh, okay. Well, cool.
Yeah.
Important information, I guess.
Yeah.
Well, I guess no more learning everybody's favorite cereal since it's gone. I wonder if there's any possibility they're going to start another one. Um, but because I heard there was like 600 people in there. Is that right?
Yeah, that's pretty accurate.
Wow. Yeah. So might be a bit of a vacuum right now for a gathering point for the scene. Hopefully they don't flood the subreddit. That would suck.
I mean, I will say this. I had a server for like when I first started this out because I just wanted to like talk to other people.
Sure.
For like maybe like a few weeks. The problem is I'm super lazy and I hate moderating. So
Yeah.
I didn't promote any mods. There still aren't any mods in my server, but I just posted like one ad for it and literally everyone was fucking joining that thing. Like Fried got in there. Fried's still in there.
Wow.
Um yeah, everyone like tons of people were in there. Neat for a little bit. Actually Neat's still in there. Yeah.
There's a
Just
big
looking at that. Yeah, yeah, like everyone's in there.
Yeah, there's a big desire, I think, for like a gathering point for everybody. Maybe we'll do something like that in the future. I don't know, but hopefully we can
Maybe.
get. We'd need to get a team of people who are like willing to moderate and do good at it. You know.
Yeah. And
So
that's the problem is like I just think moderation is just such a pain in the ass. Like
I mean, the right wing online, which I mean, the scene is inherently right wing. It's known for despising internet jannies, you know.
for
So
sure. Yeah.
it's probably very difficult for us to find anyone, but
Yeah.
we'll keep that in mind. I think going forward.
Yeah, maybe we'll recruit some like DMV workers or some shit.
Yeah, good idea. So, our second piece of news is it seems now to be set in stone, hopefully, that there is a firm release date for the big comp album for Farmyard with NEET, Crust Socks, Edgemaster 42, Heartbreaker, and Fried by Fluoride. They say it's supposed to come out on the 30th of this month. Like, I've seen several of those guys say it. So, I think that is the exact release date now. They've changed it like a dozen times, you know. They keep pushing it around. So hopefully this is the final release date. Are you looking forward to it, Strep?
I'm definitely gonna listen to it. I think.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I have no idea. Let's just say I have no expectations. If it's good, it's good. If it's bad, that sucks. But like, yeah, we'll see.
They were saying on the interview that they think it's going to be the thing that reinvigorates the scene. Um, and they're obviously hyping it everywhere else. You think it's going to live up to the hype?
Um, let's just say I'm skeptical.
How about this? Do you think it has the ability to live up to the hype?
Maybe.
Maybe.
And I only say this because what's it called? Fried's like blowing up on like TikTok and whatnot. So what I'm thinking is like maybe a normie invasion. Maybe.
Oh, you know, I think they made a good point though, saying that the scene kind of filters itself. Like the normies will
Yeah.
probably, if this album does invite normies on, they'll listen to the album and those songs and maybe those artists, but
Yeah, and then
they
they'll
probably won't go
fizzle
any
out and
further.
filter
Yeah,
themselves, right?
yeah. I think that was a great point that they had made about that. But you're right. I could only imagine that if it does blow up, it'll mostly be with normies. I don't think we're going to get a lot of people who are dedicated to the scene from it,
Yeah.
you know?
I mean, everyone who's here or I think everyone who could be here is already here, if that makes sense.
Yeah. I've thought that for a while. I don't want to believe it. I want to believe that there's still some room for growth, but you
Unless
might
we dip into
be
the Indian market,
yeah. Yeah, start reaching out to all those
all
uh
those India cells.
Asian subcontinent
Yeah,
E-CEL or
Asian sub fives, like
incels. Yeah, literally. Um Yeah, this is probably as big as we're gonna get. I don't know. You might be right with that. Which is
I
too
don't know. It
bad, but
depends. It depends because it could be like this is just me throwing out stupid theories, but like it could be like how like punk back in the day was like super edgy and people thought it was cool because of that. Maybe. That's
right.
all I'm gonna say.
Yep.
Maybe.
I mean, my favorite quote, this comes from some libtard I used to follow on Instagram. He said, "All culture is downstream of reactionary incels." And you look around nowadays, look at the online internet culture, and isn't that just the truest statement you've ever heard? I mean,
100%.
we see Wojaks, we see mewing, looks maxing, we see even, I mean, anime is like becoming popular thing, and that was super popular with terminally online incels for a long time, you
Yeah.
know?
I
or at
think
least in the
anime's been
West.
popular for like since like 2018, maybe.
Well, maybe popular
Maybe
isn't the
even
right word.
before that. Like, it's interesting.
Maybe it's gaming. By that I mean it's like
Gaining a
gaining,
lot more traction.
yeah,
Yeah.
and like mainstream approval. You used to be weird if you watched anime. You know, maybe it was popular, but you
Yeah.
were still considered weird. Now it's more
Yeah.
normal, I suppose. But
Yeah. I say
yeah,
some
it's
people still think it's weird, but not nearly to the extent that it used to be. Like, it used to be like almost like you're a if you watch anime.
oh yeah, no, there's a huge prejudice against it. But no, this whole thing with incels leading the culture is why I really have great respect for guys like you who make songs that stuff like about internet culture, about things like guys like us can relate to, because it's like a cultural icon when you do that. You know, it speaks to something that a lot of people don't talk about, especially in other music genres. And this one has a
Yeah.
real potential, I think, to capture culture in a unique way. That's why I think it has a potential to blow up. But if the audience just isn't there, then it's, you know, kind of doomed.
Yeah.
But I guess we'll see in the future.
Yeah, I guess. Like, I guess potentially there's a massive audience for this,
Exactly.
but I don't know. It would need a lot to get there, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, and I don't think we're gonna have any Hollywood executives come over here and be like, "We'd like to promote your music." You know?
We'll start getting industry plant fried by fluorides,
Yeah, I can't wait.
washed by Listerine.
Uh, well, I guess now, speaking of industry plants, no, I'm joking. But we can move on to the man of the hour, not the proper attire. We should go ahead and get him introduced and get this interview going. Introducing a relatively new artist on the scene. You've likely heard his hit song, Goon Chad. He's already been marked as one of the up and coming artists in the scene to keep an eye on thanks to his obvious musical talent. He has some of the most keynote live performance videos I've seen on his YouTube channel. Please, everyone, welcome Not the Proper Attire. Welcome to the podcast, man.
That was so flattering.
Yeah, well, you know, I like to butter up my guests before we get into the real meat of the interviews.
Oh yeah. You bring them up so you can tear them down later. That's
yeah, exactly. So, being a relatively new artist, I say that because on your SoundCloud, your first song was uploaded in April of 2023. Is that actually the first upload, or were you doing stuff before then you've since removed?
that is that stuff from 2023. Like that whole Sketches album. That's like the first thing I ever put online. Yeah.
Really?
But I think it's interesting that I definitely wasn't back then, considering like myself as like Incelcore. Like I didn't really hardly know about it, even though ironically there's actually a song about Incelcore in there. But like I wasn't really into the scene at all. Like I knew about fucking Negative XP and that's it. And that's what that one song's about. But like back then I was literally just like trying to make stupid pop punk bullshit, which I guess I still am now. But
Gotcha. Yeah, you tag like all your songs as pop punk, right?
yeah, it's the very first, like that was the first time I ever recorded anything. I was just basically learning as I go. Well, the first songs I ever wrote either, because I'm actually new to the scene, but I'm also I'd say new to even music or shit. I think I only learned how to play guitar in like 2021.
Really?
Yeah, well, I think it's most of my life. I didn't give a shit about music. I thought it was stupid and gay. I never like I don't
all
know
music.
like
All music.
yeah. I just like I don't know. I just didn't listen to much music. Like I dabble like in like obviously just like punk rock shit, like No Effects and like Screeching Weasel. Like I'd listen to that, but like I didn't really care. Like I would, there was like a couple songs I liked to listen to, but like I was never really into anything for a long time, basically my whole life until
Really?
yeah.
So what brought you to start learning guitar then?
I think eventually I got it's a fucking job. Like, and I was driving. I was a delivery driver, so I was fucking just driving all the time. And So there I was just fucking looking for shit to listen to. So I was like, well, you know, like I was already into like fucking like, you know, like 90s punk rock just because that's what my like parents were into, like and shit. Just grew up on
Nice.
that. It's pretty fucking easy. Like so that's just all the shit I knew. All I was listening to my whole life. So but like back then, like fucking like, you know, being actually in the fucking like just driving around all the time, you just need something to listen to. I was like, fuck it, I guess I'm just gonna start putting on random albums from bands that I know that I, you know, haven't really like done the research on and just do that. And
Okay.
I did that for a while. I think eventually I fucking landed on Blink-182. And for some reason that struck a chord to me. Maybe because I was listening to it, I was like, that doesn't seem that hard to do. And I fucking listened to that. It's like, okay, that seems pretty easy. And
Gotcha.
so I think I just got my dad because he had guitars, and I was like, how do you do that shit? And he showed me a little bit. He just showed me how to play a power chord because that's all he could do, and that's all I could do too. So
Wow. Okay. Well, you'll fit right in here. That's all anybody does here.
that's all
um,
you need. You know what? That's all you need, baby.
right? Yeah. I think it was
Yeah.
NEET had a great tweet when he's like, "Why do you only use the same 4 chords to make all your songs?" And he's like, "Well, the whole world was made with only 4 elements," you know. uh, but it kind of makes sense though that you say that you got into music in general, like making it relatively recently, because we were listening to your discography, obviously, and I noticed, or a person on my team noticed, your song "Meowba Did Nothing Wrong." The
Mhm.
intro is like identical to a song by My Chemical Romance called "I'm Not Okay." Is that on purpose?
Well, okay. This is the thing. I've actually been dealing with this newest song I've just written, and I think it comes a lot with the territory of writing simple ass songs in this is genre. Like I'm gonna talk a lot about like fucking punk rock and '90s punk, but like a lot of that is obviously in Incelcore and E-punk anyway. Like so,
Mm-hmm.
it kind of goes hand in hand. Although if we want to get to that, I would say like more of my influences musically are from like established like punk bands more than Incelcore stuff. Just
Sure.
I was
cause,
actually
but
noticing that a
yeah.
lot listening to your
But
stuff.
when you're writing songs, it's fucking simple. You can you can get in your head for this like fucking like forever. Of just being like, oh, I think this is a fucking total. Like you do things, and you're like, oh, wait a minute. You do things without knowing it, and then like you'll just do that and write that. You're like, that's cool. And then like a week later, you'll be like, motherfucker, that's from like fucking Lagwagon or something. You know, it's gonna happen all the time. And like, if you if you want to like listen out for it, dude, I mean, you'll notice it in every song, basically ever. Honestly, I mean, everything's a Beatles ripoff at the end of the day.
Well, it's
Uh,
funny that you're saying this because me and Strep were just talking earlier, and we were pointing out, or Strep, I believe, I think it was just you that was pointing
Yeah.
out, a lot of things in music at this point have pretty much been done, you know.
that's everything good has already been written. Like,
Yeah.
there's nothing
Yeah.
original under the sun. You just have to take the best elements, and you have to go with it confidently. Like, you could like go back and forth on like, oh, this is probably a ripoff, but like as long as you're not like literally going up to a song and just going, I'm gonna do that. Like obviously, like all music, like you play something on guitar and like in the back of your head, you know, there's a billion songs that you've listened to over years that you know are there. So and like, but
Sure.
there's only fucking so many chord progressions. It's just gonna pop up, and you basically just have to like combine something. Like you just like, okay, I'm just gonna take like not even like on purpose, but you can say like, okay, this is just something from this song mixed with something from this song, and you combine it like alchemy, like fucking cough syrup and fucking soft drinks, yo. And
Yeah.
it comes together to form something beautiful, a beautiful concoction, a delicious concoction that makes you feel all warm and fuzzy inside.
Yeah. You know, Incelcore really is just like lean when you think about it.
It's like there's no. I've been saying that. I've been saying this for years. All right, there's no difference, honestly.
True.
Makes me feel the same way.
So then, I guess that takes me to the next question. Just speaking of your music, so we know where your influences come now from. Uh, on a recent live stream you did, you were playing a bunch of songs live, and we noticed that on your computer it looked like you were
Uh-oh.
using Soundtrap, which is a
What?
freemium
That's
browser
fucking
based.
gross, dude.
Yeah, it was a freemium browser based audio program, which is considered kind of weird for a serious musician to be using. Do you use Soundtrap?
No, that would actually be fucking awesome, but no, I fucking use I fucking wish I used something like stupid as shit like that. Although I guess I don't have like the best, but no, I was using Ableton Live, fucking 11 or something. I don't know. That's what I use. I use that because it's just what came with my audio interface that I got from fucking Guitar Center. But no, I
Okay.
just use I use
Do you
Ableton
pay
Live.
the subscription?
It's not a subscription. The one I got. Well, okay. Here's the fucking story of how I got my DAW. The Focusrite, which is the audio interface that I plug my microphone, guitars into and shit, came
Do you
with
have
like
the 2i2 or the
it's just two,
a
yeah.
bigger one? Oh, okay.
No, it's just the two, which is like
That's what I
think that's
have.
all I need. I was glad I was able to do live shit where you can plug a mic and a guitar into it at the same time. That's how I did that with back tracks. But even though fuck me, I'm not good at that. But that's beside the point. I might get in that later. But no, that came with like a version of Ableton that it just gave you 8 tracks and some simple shit. But I actually accidentally deleted it off my fucking computer or something, and I didn't know any way to get it fucking back because I just don't know. So I was like, fuck it, I'm just gonna like buy like the fucking like $80 version. It's just a one-time fee. It's awesome. But I think I do like using just Ableton. I know in any DAW like there's a lot of shit to do, but like when I make my music, it's like what you see is what you get. Like a lot of people, I could probably go and like it'd be helpful to get into this. Using more, I guess, like techniques, like synthesizers and weird shit, but like
Oh yeah.
putting more shit in progression. But like all my songs, like it's rhythm guitars. They'll get a leading guitar in there, so that's like 2 guitar tracks, 1 bass track, and then my fucking easy drum synthesizer drums, and that's it. Like that's how I compose all my songs with that. Like, and if it's anything like it does give like a simplicity. I'm always a big fan of simplicity. When it's just like that's the tools I have to work with. I'm not putting any weird synthesizers or like doing like weird tricks or audio filters or anything. It's really just like it's the fucking sounds coming right out of my amp. That's it. That's and in my voice. And that's it. Like I do
want to know, is that true with your voice also? Because on that live stream, maybe it's just because it was live, but to me your voice sounded a lot different than it does on the final products.
Yeah, okay, that actually is. I do use. I said I don't use a filter, but I do use a fucking filter for my voice. I run it through a guitar simulator or a guitar amp simulator. I run my voice through a guitar amp because I actually have maybe you could tell when I'm singing live and I don't have that filter on. I think I have a gay voice. Like it sounds like I sound like a wimp.
Nah,
Like
vocal effects are fucking
without
cool,
it.
dude.
Oh, that's how when you run it through the freaking guitar amp, dude. It gives my voice that bite that I don't have in real life because I'm, in a masculine.
You have no
cell.
idea. I know exactly what you're talking about. I feel kind of
Mhm.
humiliated when every time I make a song, I put the sound gooderizer on my voice on FL Studio. Every time, it's always like, this is so stupid, but it's like I have to do it.
Yeah, my vocal channels are like all the same as well. It's just compression, then reverb, or no, then it's distortion, then it's reverb.
Yeah, hey man, at least you're not using like auto-tune or anything like
No,
that.
well, I don't like one, like I think being a shitty singer is like kind of emblematic of being like listen to a fucking million punk rock bands and be like, dude, these guys fucking suck, but it's cool. It's cool as hell because it's just like it doesn't matter. I mean, that's what I always loved about when I go and see punk, and this is something like a lot of my friends will disagree with because they're not into punk, they're more into like hip hop and shit. But like what I always love when I go see a punk band, it's why I think that Incelcore is the real next step for punk, is when you go and see a punk band. You're right there, and the dudes, they're wearing the same clothes. They're wearing like fucking just a t-shirt and jeans, and they've got normalized shoes, and they're playing simple songs, and they're fucking up. unless a lot of fucking bands I see fucking suck live, that's for sure.
Right.
But the point is that you look at that and you're there, and even though they're on the stage, you feel like they're not putting themselves above you. Like you feel like you could be doing that shit too, and
Totally.
like there's less of a barrier between you and the artist, and that's and Incelcore is takes that even a step further, because it's literally just like, yeah, man, just you could be alone in your bedroom and just upload that shit to YouTube, and like people fucking see it, and there's a million other people who do it too, and you get to talk to those people and be like, and like say weird shit like, oh, what fucking DAW do you use? Oh, well, do you have a do you have a humbucker? Like just like stupid shit. It's all about being a community more than, I guess, being like a consumer of a product, which is like what's happened to like actual mainstream punk, which is why I think it's stupid and gay.
Totally. No, you're definitely
sure.
right. That's always been a big pull of it for a lot of guys, I think. A lot of people who would never see any success anywhere else see success here.
What
It's perfect.
that's
for that.
like that's what I mean, like, because when I uploaded my like first shit, and like I said, it wasn't under like like back then, like I said, I didn't know much about Incelcore. All I knew about is, like I said, Negative XP and Virgin Fest and shit, because of Turkey Tom. Shout out shout out that video. But but like then I was just labeling it as just like, well, I'm just any other like pop punk act. But like after like a while, like, that doesn't get you shit, because there's a billion other pop punk acts, and how that scene is, it's a lot more like I said, it's like what the end goal of that is so corporatized. I mean, look at fucking like Blink-182, Green Day playing in fucking stadiums and shit, and it's like that's not gonna be you. Sorry, dude. Like that,
Right.
So like when you do that, that doesn't get shit, because there's a billion other people who all are trying to like fight this, like, I don't even know like how that scene is. Whereas when you do like E-Punk and Incelcore, it's just like I said, it's a bunch of other guys in their fucking bedrooms by themselves, and it's just like, hey man, I like what you're fucking doing, dude. Like, howdy, and they see the shit. And it's like, it's such a small scene that like anytime I see any art, I'm just like, I'm thankful that there's anybody, like, you're thankful that there's anybody else like you that are just doing the same shit as you.
Totally.
And they're not like fucking being gay or fake about it. It's just like, yeah, dude, this is just all it is. And yeah, maybe like shit sounds like weird, and not everybody knows exactly 100% what they're doing, but like that's part of the fun, isn't it?
Yeah. No, definitely. And even speaking about like how small it is, despite being like new, you already seem to be friendly with Cyborg 9K.
Yes.
And he's fairly big artist on the scene, right?
I mean, to me, I mean, for me, like I said, I had known about Incelcore from Negative XP, but I never, I thought like Incelcore was just people trying to sound like a shittier version of the Strokes, because that's all Negative XP was. So I was like, okay, whatever. I'm just gonna go back to listen to fucking like Sum 41 and Dillinger 4. Like
Right.
I don't fucking care. But one day just on YouTube, I got a fucking it was like, oh, best new 2022 fucking Incelcore or whatever.
Huh.
I guess it wasn't new when I fucking watched it, but whatever. And I was listening to it, and it was a lot of like, the shit I expected. Like, yeah, like a lot of this, like, is what I think. But then a fucking Cyborg 9K song came out. I didn't know what fucking Cyborg 9K was. Never heard of him. But it was the Don't Talk Shit song, and I was like, this is just pure punk rock right here. Like, this is just pure fucking like.
That's a great
this
song.
Is like that, and like when I heard that, coupled with a lot of, there's some heartbreaker songs in that fucking video. That video is deleted. I really hate, like, it sucks that video is deleted. That video had like fucking, it was like half Cyborg songs.
Oh wow.
So really, I was listening to Cyborg, and I was like, oh wait, Incelcore E-Punk can be like fucking like pop punk rock, like this type, like you don't have to be a shitty Strokes ripoff, like with like terrible fucking audio, like production quality.
It is a pretty wide scene in terms of
Well,
what it captures.
That is something that's cool about it. Like you'll get like fucking, like I said, like people like fucking Heartbreaker and Cyborg 9K just making like cool pop punk shit, and then you'll get like fucking like people just like doing like a piano ballad, but it's still Incelcore, because it just kind of is like,
right.
That's what's cool about it. But it's funny that Cyborg 9K was one of my number one influences when I actually shifted from just being, I don't know, like a straight Blink-182 ripoff to trying to be a Cyborg 9K and Blink-182 ripoff like I am now.
I assume you're mostly talking about his older stuff, because now he's really moved into like electronic sounding
Yeah,
music.
that is true. Well, yeah, I do get with him because like when I say like, well, my shit is what it is, but he's been trying to tell me like no, dude, like, and trying to show me because I actually love his I guess like extra like synthesizers and all those like bleepy bloops and shit. I think it's cool,
Mhm.
and I don't know if I'm smart enough to figure that out, but the point is, yeah. So when I think one day it was from my Twitter, he followed me just on my Twitter. I was like, holy shit, and then he DM'd me. He's like, yo, we gotta do something. Me and you, we gotta do something. I was like, what the fuck? Like at that point, I was like, I'm just a fucking guy. Like you're like a cool, like, you know, you actually fucking play with those shows. You know the dudes. Like you're in all the shit. Like I'm a fucking asshole. Like
And how long ago was
kinda,
this?
this was, I want to say, probably January or February, maybe.
Oh, this year. So it wasn't that long ago.
No, a lot of shit kind of has happened.
And he asked to collab with you?
Yeah, still working on that.
Oh, it's still
But
you're still
I know how that is.
yeah.
Is it coming
But
out soon or
no, but it'll I'm gonna I do get, I mean, I don't want to fucking like be an like he's the guy, so like I don't want to like be an asshole and be like, hey, what are we gonna fucking do? You know, like he's got fucking like he's coming out with a whole fucking like acoustic album shit, so I don't want to fucking bother
come out
him,
with the
but, like,
fingers touching, you know, and your
hey,
feet crossed? Could we please?
please don't you notice me? Like
Please, Cyborg Son.
I'm not gonna be an asshole. It's a fucking miracle that the dude even fucking talks to me as in my like gay ass Discord server. But
Oh, so he's even in your Discord. That's cool.
yeah, I couldn't believe that he joined that the fucking first day, and I was like, oh, shit,
Wow.
bro.
Is there
But
any other big artists that you talk with?
he's definitely the biggest. But I mean, you know, I talked to like you and Ghost, and I know
Sure.
Fried follows me on SoundCloud and Twitter. He's never fucking talked to me or interacts with me.
Fried
But
kind of, I think Fried just likes to follow everybody.
he likes to keep his eyes.
Yeah.
Out, you know?
He's the watchful eye, the eye of Sauron over the rest of us.
But
He likes to show up in chat, say some incoherent stuff, and then he leaves.
that's always. I mean, that's a play. I honestly sometimes like I wish I had a more like. I feel like I have a really like gay and like personality. Like I wish I was like a cooler, more like. But like I'm too like fucking like I get too like gay and like genuine. I think like I wish I was just more of like a weird asshole, like an inanimate asshole. Like I think that's badass. Like to me,
More of an enigma.
exactly. I'm too much of a fucking spurg, I guess. So I can't do that.
Yeah.
Well, sort of speaking about yourself, I did have some questions on Twitter and elsewhere, and here, obviously, you've self-identified yourself like as an incel, right? You tagged
Yeah.
some of your songs as Incelcore,
Yeah.
but in your song "I'm Never Drinking Again," there's a lyric that goes, this is a recurring lyric: looks max, black pills, and incels, get some effing help, you're mentally unwell. Could you clarify your definitive position on incels and Incelcore?
I will. This is. I might be going on for like an hour on just this myself, but
Okay.
as I mean, only even recently. I listen. I like to say that I'm just a normal guy. Like honestly, like in our line of work in our community, there's definitely some eccentric figures, and I think I've always just been just a guy. Honestly, like I'm not that really weird. I don't think, you know, I have all my friends are normal and they think that like whenever I get into like this type of shit, I like like they don't have any idea the fuck's going on. But to me, like I like the incel shit. I mean, obviously, like it's such a loaded fucking word. It's why I think the term incelcore. I like the term because it's kind of funny and ugly and it makes people uncomfortable. And I do like that, but it is loaded, which is also why like I always like to be more marketable because I'm always fucking looking for the top baby. If I have the chance to sell out, I will do it. Mark my fucking words. But like that's why I was like, well, like and I think e-punk is too fucking like doesn't mean anything. That's why I think loser punk is like a good thing, but that's just me being
Is
gay
that
and
something
autistic.
you created or is that something going around? I've never heard of that.
It's something that only I've ever said ever.
Oh, okay.
I think I've said something similar once, like loser core. I also
Yeah.
thought of a term internet punk, but that sounds kind of gay too.
That is, it's just the same as like
Yeah.
Punk.
e-punk. Like it kind of means nothing. Like I think like what makes Incelcore, like you said, it's very wide. It's more of the attitude, like it's not about purely like the sound of the music because there's a very wide range there. So it's really it's always about really the subject matter and who the person is. But anyway,
Right.
I'm trying to remember what your question was.
Basically, what's your definitive position on Incelcore and
Yeah.
incels? Because from that song lyric, it sounded like you don't like them.
Well, obviously, like I'm split, bro. I'm like fucking, Dr. Jekyll and Mr. fucking Hyde over here, dude. Like, I recognize this is my biggest problem. Like, I recognize that like a lot of like the actual like there's the clinical term incel, but like there's the fucking like the reputation that the incels get online and with the norm grades or whatever. But I recognize that like there's in that like it's not good, but I still find myself like feeding into it because like every once in a while I hate to be gay, but like sometimes I'm just like, well, I mean like I like black pill shit, especially like when I'm talking with people or my friends or shit. Like I'll like I don't want to say it, but like sometimes people egg me on. It's like I'll fucking say, like all this shit, black pill, fucking genetics, this shit, fucking bone structure, all that. Like I do get into it, and it is easy to fucking blame my current situation on shit like that. But also I recognize that like in a part of that song is like it's fucking like nobody wants to fucking hear it, dude. Like honestly, sometimes, even though like sometimes it's fun, it's funny and catharsis to like just fucking like just yell and scream at the world, like shit's fucked, I'm fucked, and there's nothing to do about it. It's also like it's not helping you, and like it's not a good way to be, obviously.
So what I'm hearing, do you more have a problem with the depressed nature of the scene or incels in general rather than simply the culture and the identity of it?
I mean, obviously, like it's never good to just give up, which a lot of like obviously that's like kind of the point, like the black pill. But there is stuff like people are like a little overly cynical a lot of the times. Like it can get really just like lame. Like to me, like things like it's kind of funny to me. Like I do try to, like I said, just be a normal guy and not to actually like care about like all this stuff. But like there are people who like are getting too into it, and like people like to fucking draw like lines at the same like, oh, this guy's freaking soy and he's not like really like like a chud like me. Like that's just stupid. Like but it's also like stupid. Just like I don't know. I like to me it's fun, I guess, to be like a weirdo. But you do have to like realize like you really shouldn't take anything seriously ever actually at all, like in the world, but especially this thing is like it should just like it's fun to say weird things and to complain and call yourself like ugly and the normies or whatever, but like you can't really live by that. It's just a stupid way to live, honestly. You should just try to be normal. just freaking be normal, dude.
Sure. I can actually find myself agreeing with some of what you're saying anyways. I've always been like considered myself white pilled. I'm always have a positive outlook on things, and I never let
Hope so.
hope so. I never let depression get me down, and
Coper.
that's why I like your music because it's always got like an upbeat sense to it, there's definitely some songs out there, like especially like some of Slater's stuff where you listen to it and you feel worse afterwards.
Yeah.
But listening to your stuff, I don't really ever get that, except for that song where you're knocking my culture and my people. But
Well,
You're stepping on his territory.
Yeah. No, I sort of get what you're saying though, and that's definitely, I'm sure that your opinion on it is shared by a lot of people in the scene. Sort of related to that then, would you mind telling us like what your opinions are on gatekeeping the scene, specifically from like women or LGBT?
God, this is could be low to come from me considering I'm gay, but I think like but that's a funny conversation actually for later. That it's funny that like a lot of my fans are also gay, even though I don't think I admit that very much in my songs. But like I started my freaking stupid server, and like half my fans who like message me, like they're also like of that variety. I'm like, okay, that I mean, weird.
Are they gay or are they just autistic?
No, they're gayer than I am, which is I guess not that impressive because I'm just a normal guy. But the point is, like,
normal
I think
gay
like
guy.
it's just a normal gay incel, just your average normal gay black pill incel. Nothing weird about that. Just
Okay.
very standard and average. But no, I think like it's just not like, especially with the state of the scene, like it's just not a good idea to gatekeep. Not only because, like I said, like as funny as like the things that go around, like it's funny, but like I said, it's not a good way to like actually like live, or like those aren't like values that are like, I don't know, like good, like productive to have. Basically, like they're like you know, it's funny to be like, oh, women, that, you know, like that's funny, but like in practice, it's just sort of weird because it's like, okay, just be like, you know, stop being autistic for 5 minutes, please.
Gotcha.
But
So, coming back to this, this was actually the next question: is if you were gay or not, because it is hard to tell. You don't
predicted it.
seem.
Yeah, we wanted to be deadpan about it, but
Am I? Well, am I?
It doesn't seem
Huh?
like
Or
you're
was I?
super open about it, because I never actually knew that until I started like talking with you in Discord. And even then, it's hard to tell because you're so, I don't know, you're a very affable guy. It's hard to tell when you're being serious about some things.
I could be lying through my teeth right now. You wouldn't even know it.
I suppose that's true. So
I could be doing this for clout.
what I was gonna say though is we had to cut this clip because of its sensitive nature. If you want to see it and other unedited clips, go to the E-CEL BitChute channel to see just quick clips that we had to cut out. But for now, back to the interview. Jeez, wow. None of this interview is going to make it to YouTube.
Oh, no.
But, well then, sort of related to that then, we talked about the artwork. You see, do you draw, you seem to draw all of your artwork, right? Like you yourself.
Yeah, I draw most of it. I've used a few fan arts before, but I do draw pretty much. I mean, if I don't say that it was drawn by somebody else, I draw it. Like, there's
Gotcha.
nothing.
So it all features this very unique avatar of a girl with a large forehead and red hair. Did you come up with this character, and why do you use it for everything?
All right, this is gonna get like nerdy autistic, but like when I was, I guess I'm just gonna go into this. I guess when I want to say 16, I would used to just like, I don't know, be bored in class and do anything but schoolwork and just think about random things and what would make good stories. And I think one day I just had this idea, because I think I was starting to watch anime at that time too, and it annoyed me every time I watched an anime that they would present themselves as an underdog hero and who's actually super powerful. So I was like, okay, well, what if there was a character who was just a loser, like actually a loser underdog? They just lost everything. What would that actually do to a character? Like, you know, like it's interesting things. Anyway, that's what I thought. And at that time, like, I guess I would try to like write short little autistic little stories, but I was like, this would actually go better as comic book. So when I was like 17 or whatever, I started learning how to draw. Because I could never draw. I was always terrible. Most people, I feel like this goes into a bunch of black pill like freaking like genetics or like gifted crap. Like most people like who draw like have been doing that thing since they were like 5, you know.
Right.
I never did that. I never like I mean it's the same thing with me, music, you know. Like I guess I'm like when I was a kid I didn't do anything. I didn't have any hobbies besides playing freaking Overwatch, you know. I didn't care. I didn't do anything. So like all the things I do now, I had to like learn as like basically an adult, and it's kind of embarrassing that how like terrible I am at it. But the point is, I learned how to draw because I wanted to have this story come out as a comic idea, and that's how. So like, you know, while drawing random things, I would draw that character, improve their character design, and I mean, just like when it came to making music, I was just like, well, album art, like I'll just draw it, and I guess I'll just use my character because I like to draw them. And I mean, as simple as that, you know. It's a little character I came up with when I was like 16, 17, and I don't know. I guess I'm still drawing, trying to improve. I should probably be better than I am, but hey, man, do what you do.
Gotcha. And now you just use it as your avatar for.
Yeah, it's just my avatar mascot because I'd say great. I think it's important to do things yourself. You know, like I said, like if I'm gonna have an icon, an avatar on the internet, like I don't want something that somebody else made. I want something that I made. You know,
Sure.
like I don't like, you know, and obviously like it's like. Like I'm not like dissing on anybody. Like obviously, like no, like not a lot of people have the freaking time to like do things. So they'll just take random things and like except make it the cover art for their song or whatever. But like I find it like important just to me specifically to be like everything that I do I like make, you know, and not saying that everything I do is wholly original. I mean like, you know, the character I drew was like an a weird like chimera amalgamation of like a bunch of different character designs that I like. The songs that I write are just a bunch of different variations of, you know, Screeching Weasel and the Ramones, you know. So, but like I do find it important to like the things I do, I want them to be mine, basically.
Sure.
Is it more about keeping it DIY?
A lot of it is, yeah. Even like, I think that is cool, personally.
Nice.
Does the character have a name?
Yes. Their name is it's gay. Their name is gay. Their name is Sene Tarenti. Just random like sounds that I came up with. I was like, that kind of sounds cool. It doesn't mean anything. It's just literally random sounds.
Is this deep lore? Do you ever tell anybody this or?
A few people do know about this. I mean, if I wasn't bad at like drawing and two extremely lazy, I would have actually just drawn this comic by now. But you know, hey, guess what? That's hard to do. All right, it's hard to make a comic. I've been trying for years and many failed attempts. Actually, I'm not going to tell. Oh, actually, you could probably use a lot of context clues to look this up. I actually do have one chapter of a scrap, like it's the same character. It's like a scrapped premise. I'm not like doing that anymore. Up online somewhere. I'm not gonna tell you where. Of like the first, it's like 50 pages, like a billion drawings of.
Wow.
I did this like years ago, and the drawing it looks like doo-doo butthead, but there is somewhere out there a full chapter comic that I did with this character with a totally scrapped story that I'm like I had to start from scratch because I thought it was stupid.
Wow. Jeez,
but it's out there somewhere.
Impressive.
So you have like a DeviantArt or something?
I'm not gonna tell you what I got. You gotta find that for yourself. That's a little bit of audience participation. All right,
Okay,
a little bit of homework for you to do if you want.
A little bit of homework. Check the DeviantArts. Check the R34. Like
if you want to be like a weird, if you want to be like a weird stalker or something, yeah, just.
Well, cool. Yeah,
it's out there. It's out there. I guess I won't. I probably should. I guess I'm just not gonna lead it now because now I've said it and it'd be gay to do that. So.
Well, cool. No, that'd be neat for people to find, I suppose, as long as it's nothing incriminating.
It's definitely not that. It's just cringy, but that's fine.
Sure. Hey, man, we all make cringe stuff once in a while. But apparently too, sort of related to all of this, you've started taking commissions for drawings and have said things. Yeah.
Okay.
Right now, this seems to be contained specifically to your Discord, right?
It is. Yeah, I've never gone public, but I think I don't know. Hold on, let me go with this. First off, I'm gonna do a little advertising. If you want to give me $20-$25 to draw something, I will do it. Anyway. No, I haven't gone public because I also like honestly, even though I just did that thing 1 second ago, I think it's kind of gay. Like it's stupid. And honestly, the two that I have, like I have kind of stopped. I don't know, but it's a little. I think those people were honestly just patronizing me because they're my buddies. They love me. I'm just a small guy. Also, they're probably just tired of being borderline suicidal to them in my Discord chat. Just wanted to give me something to do. But that being said, have drawn things, which is actually interesting because I think that some of the things I have drawn, one of the things I did draw, not the other thing, is a little risque, and I think that is morally apprehensible. I think that things like that are bad for the soul. But fortunately for, I guess, people, I'm willing to compromise my morals for money. Remember when I said I would sell out for anything? I've proven myself. So yeah, I
Awesome.
have taken things that I wouldn't normally draw. I have drawn now.
Gonna be Shadman 2.
Oh, let's not go that far. I don't think I'm gonna go that far. Yeah, I have some morals that I'm not willing to cross the line for.
The art piece I assume you're referring to is the nude art of your own avatar. Is that?
That is, well, yeah, that is the one thing I did draw.
Isn't that a little weird of your own avatar? Doesn't it feel like you're kind of stripping yourself down? I mean,
well, fortunately, I'm not schizophrenic, and the character I draw. This is actually something that annoys me. I actually see this more with like people I know in real life, like, and I'll like send them my music and things, and they'll see the art I draw, and they're like, "Why'd you draw yourself like that?" And I'm like, "What?" Like, I'm like, "What do you think that that's what my interpretation of myself is that?" Like, no, that's like, one. What? That doesn't look anything like me. I'm not a freaking 5'2" girl with fox ears. I'm
I
like
look
a
just like my avatar, frankly.
Oh, I believe that. It's just weird. It's just weird. It's like, and it's like, I don't know. I just could not believe like when people like that's just what they think. I feel like it's honestly like there's a lot of people, NPCs, who just like look at things and then don't think about them, and they just like they think like I think they think of it in like from their perspective, and they're like, if I could draw, I would draw myself, which is I would rather die than do that. But
sure.
No
I think
comment about my strep jack.
Yeah.
Yeah, but no, like it is. He's like for me, it's like it's just a character, and hey, that for some weird reason, that's what the dude paid me $25 to draw.
Okay.
I was like, hey man, if that's what if you want to pay me $25 to draw my character with giant tits and in a Playboy bunny outfit, who am I to judge? Well,
Awesome.
I actually do have moral say on most people. I'm more morally correct than I think anybody else on the planet. So I will judge you.
Oh, okay.
But I'm also going to get the job done. So
Gotcha. Well, I totally agree with you when you say that normies just won't get it. They don't. They think way different than the rest of us.
It's like they're not like. I mean, even I am a normal guy on the internet, but they're not our guy.
No, yeah, they'll. That's why I think they need to stay out of this scene. They just cannot think like us to save their lives. But
yeah, go back to freaking going and watching a freaking Blink-182 concert sitting down 500 feet back at freaking AT&T Stadium. How about it? Get the hell out of here.
Yeah, exactly. Then I also had one question about your other drawing, your other commission that you've done, which I think was your character as
I don't know why they both. I don't know why they both asked me to draw my character. I think. Hold on, real quick tangent before you ask this next question because I'm also stalling.
Okay.
I think like it's so self-masturbatory of me. I think like I draw my character a lot, mostly nowadays because most of my drawings I have to like end up being like drawings for songs. I don't draw. I'm trying to actually like draw just more for just regular drawings, but very recently in the past, I guess like 6 months, all of my drawings have been for my songs. So it is just a lot of my character. I think it's like gay to be like, oh, I'm just drawing my own OC all the time because I think it's so good. Like, you know, like it is like it's like, every time like I upload a freaking picture and it's just like, yeah, hey, guess what? I drew my character again. Cool, huh? You know, like that's not. I understand like that's not what most people want to see. So it does surprise me that both the things I got were both people will be like, can you draw your character like this? I'm like, okay. I mean, I'm not gonna like I like drawing my character, but
I suppose it's an interesting character, right? But I was gonna say one of the OCs was you drawing it as like a furry animal, and you've
yes.
also said you've tweeted out that you're learning to draw furries for financial reasons.
Yes.
Are you a furry?
Okay, all right, we're gonna get some real Inco Dinko lore right here. This is actually gonna be a giant tangent. You know how obviously, you know, I'm super based, super, you know, I'm our guy, you know. But as a kid, I grew up like basically. Hold on, if you want to know why I'm the way I am, from my entire from freaking 12 to like the age of like 21, I was just Tumblr was like the only place I ever was really my whole life.
Damn.
And
Explains a few things.
I know. I actually used to be like, this is like for real. I used to be like incredibly soy, like freaking like bread tube, like freaking In Search of Shadows type guy. Like
Whoa.
I used to be like a PewDiePie's a Nazi type of dude until
No
I
way.
Bro.
no, dude, I was like the soyest, like freaking like blue haired like Tumblrina on the planet, dude. Like for like,
What
a
happened?
long time. I grew up. That's what really I grew up and just stopped caring about anything. Honestly, I was like, this is why do I care? Like this is just dumb to care about. Like I don't care anymore. Like people want to freaking be weird and edgy. I don't care. I don't. So yeah, but no, I used to really beg that. Anyway, and obviously, when it comes to territory, no, when I was like 12, I used to. I don't know. I've always said that describing or defining a furry is like really like loose. It's like, what the hell does that mean? Like,
Oh boy.
well, here's like it's
I
as
think
simple
the
as
definition's pretty simple, actually.
okay, well, here's the thing. All right, because like for me, I always thought like I think like even back then as a soy-tard little kid, and even now, I think like the people who like dress up and I think that's kind of just weird. Like you're an adult, like come on, dude. Like I guess you can do whatever you want. I don't care, but it's like I don't see the. That just seems kind of weird to me. But like I've always been, and it's why I like Rock at a Hard Place taught myself how to draw, even though I was never good at it. Like I like illustration. I love art, I guess, and stuff. So like if I saw a drawing and it's like a like a anthropomorphic little animal thing, but it's a good drawing, I'm like, oh, that's cool. It's a nice little cute thing, I guess. So yeah, I don't know. I like although I was when I was like 13, like more into furries, because when you're 13, you're just gay and wanting to find anything to do. But like I guess nowadays, like yeah, I see furry art and I go, oh, that's a good drawing. I appreciate it as an artist, and I think it's cool.
Oh,
and
okay.
and I do want to learn how to get better at drawing furries, just as for just like I guess diversity's sake, like learning to draw more things than just the same anime girl over and over again.
Well, you've also said for financial reasons, and it's
And
well
for financial
known
reasons,
that they will pay top dollar for like
Well,
drawings of their OCs or whatever.
Exactly. Well, that is literally the advice I got. I know somebody who actually what got me into saying like screw it, I'll throw away my morals for money. I actually know somebody. They're my buddy. And they found me out through this whole me making music. But they make dollars a year just drawing weird things. But they make dollars a year doing it. And I was like, are you seriously you could do that? I was like, fuck it. Like, what am I doing? Like, am I I feel like I'm an idiot just drawing things for no reason. This guy's getting paid money for it. Like they're making a living and they can just stay at home and just draw stupid things. It's like I'm an idiot for drawing for free, honestly. But obviously, it's more about that. Yeah.
That's obviously very. I mean, it's cool to be paid to just do art, but that is just. I think that's just above like minimum wage. Like that's not a whole heck of a lot more than minimum wage. I mean, that's a decent amount of money.
That's actually pretty decent because minimum wage is like yeah.
Oh, okay.
So it's like slightly
better. I guess
better.
it depends where they live. I guess that's really the deciding factor.
Yeah, it does depend where you live.
If they live in California, that's probably not very good.
Oh yeah, you're fucked if you live there.
Well, just I mean,
but, no, you're right though. There's some great money to be made in drawing furries. Not the career path I'd choose, but
no. But it's like I say it like it's obviously like not an easy thing. Obviously, like A, people need to know you. B, you need to be like good at doing it and like disciplined and not lazy like I am. So like I say like any idiot could do it. Like I don't even think I don't think I could do it honestly. But
sure.
I like to make a quick buck here every once in a while.
Well, yeah, you probably have to learn your perspectives and positions for that.
Okay. Oh boy. So earlier in the interview, you had said that, and you'd act surprised that your Discord server and your fan base are, a lot of them are like, they're disproportionately gay, as you said.
Yeah.
Now, that's a little weird to me because when I listen to your songs, like I said, I didn't know you were until like just recently, and I talked with you about it, you know? So why, and I listen to your songs and it's like, it's good music. Why do you think this disproportionate representation exists?
I don't know. I mean, I feel like they're like even as like autistic as like some people could be, I feel like gays, they could just sniff each other out or something.
You want to hear my theory? And this is just me. I think it's your OC, because for some reason, like, it was just your OC that was just giving me like fucking like gay Spidey sense type shit. Like, I was like, I don't know, man. I don't know.
Are you
You
gay,
got that same-
Strepsiades?
Yeah, hold on, wait. You got that gaydar on you, bro? You got that you're sniffing? You're sniffing?
Yeah, I've got that prime gaydar. Like,
Sniffing you out. I'm sniffing you out now. All right. It is that because like, I'll be yeah, my like I have a stupid whoopity like gay OC. Like it is like most like this is why I say like I'm a normal guy. Like most people like I wish I could do this. Like a lot of people in the scene are like actually like cool and grunge and like you know like but I'm like I can't like as much as I want to be like you know like it's like I can't really let go of that freaking 14-year-old who goes on Tumblr all day. Honestly, it's still there. So like I'm like, oh, this is a whoopity. This is so cute, you know. It's like I just like to draw that shit, you know. It's like I don't know.
Well, that might be a very good theory by Strep, because then you also look at Heartbreaker, and his music. I mean, it's definitely like got an e-boy sound to it, sort of, but it's nothing like crazy. Like you wouldn't think his fan base would be all girls, but I think
it's
he
the art.
uses he uses anime characters for his artwork and for his avatar. Yeah, that probably has a lot to do with it. You know,
it's true. Well, it's funny because things like that like inspire me. Where it's like, oh, it's probably a good idea if I just use like I'll do the same thing. I'll use like anime things because I was listening to a lot of Heartbreaker, like when I first started like making more like Incelcore type stuff, and like it was like that. I was like, well, he's doing that, so I'll do it. But obviously, like I said, I like to do my own things. So it's like I'm not just gonna take a picture off of Google. I'm just gonna draw it because I can. If you can do something, do it. You know.
right?
So,
Okay.
but yeah, also like it is like I mean, there is something to the songs. I mean, I literally do have a song called "The F Word" where I say like, I mean, I pretty much say I'm pretty gay in that song, honestly. Well,
that's the thing, is the way like just your style, it's always kind of hard to tell if you're being serious or joking, you know, especially since some of the things that you say, or some of the things rather that you are like so removed from the scene. It's like people are like, well, he has to be joking, right?
I mean, you know, there's a little bit of column A and column B in there. You know, I like to keep it mysterious.
Sure. Well, you do a good job. I guess onto my last like big question for you. While you can't really like we can't like judge you for who your audience is, because you can't control who listens to your music, right?
No, I sure cannot.
Yeah, you do, however, seem to actively associate with some interesting people. In particular, there's one that stands out. There's this person named Mental Crash who, yeah, I think you see where I'm going with this. They have an art profile on Twitter where this person posts digital art they make, which includes sexualized rats, diaper fetish art, and then art of women shrinking in size. And most disturbingly, they have age regression art where they depict adult women turning into children. And they seem to be a good friend of yours because you interact a lot with them on Twitter and on your recent live stream. Does this artwork not bother you at all, or?
Okay, well, first off, to be a Mental Crash defender, because I've discussed this with them. By the way, they have a pretty strict moral code as well, and they definitely don't.
I don't know about that.
No, well, I've seen the like people have asked extensively in my Discord server like what they will and won't do, and they've been their opinions very clear that like all the like the age regression, like they would never like they say like they specifically never ever do like I guess any NSFW versions of that. or anything.
That's why she starts out as an adult.
Yeah.
But also the art they draw, like it's never like even the result is never NSFW. Like it's just
Well,
like-
but what it's next to is kind of the disturbing part. It's like the similar reason why people have a problem with like drag queen story hour, because it's something sexualized next to children.
I do get that. I think that I mean they're similar to me, and it's like I mean obviously first seeing that because like my stance, I think sexualized things like porn and all that is like bad and shit, even though I'll draw things I wouldn't draw that for money, but I do draw things for money. But or do I? Maybe I'll stop. But like I said, like at the end of the day, it's like it is one, they get paid to do that a lot of money, and like but also like I think they know where to draw the line, because they do know where to draw the line in my thing. Like obviously like looking at the very first time I ever they started talking to me, I looked at it, I was like, this is like pretty weird. But I don't know, I just was just like I just kind of looked like once I guess I was able to really drill their head, figure out I guess who they are as a person. I was like, okay, you're not bad to me. Like I don't think this is like the worst thing in the world, considering like what you're doing, where you're drawing the line, and why you're doing it, which is to fucking make a living. But like obviously I'm gonna have opinions on almost anything, and like in a perfect world I'll be like, this like what the fuck. But I think being someone like me, especially like someone like you don't get a lot of options on like I said, who you really get to choose, especially if you're like, oh, I'm an incel, nobody likes me, like you do sort of tend to grab onto anybody who even gives a shit about you. And as long as they're like not just totally like fucked, like get the fuck out of there, you're like Jesus. It's not like, I don't know, the worst in the world. Like obviously like I said, it's not like like I would prefer if they did do that, but like who the fuck am I to say? Like, and I'm not one to, like I said, unless they're being a total like weirdo asshole, I'm not one to be like, get the fuck away from me because I think you're weird. Like, I just kind of roll with the flow. I'm surfing USA.
And like I've said before, though, it's one thing if it's just like a listener, but you continuously interact with them, so you just don't see it as like a big enough issue to, I don't know, like ban them or cut contact completely.
No, like I said, not really, because like I said, I've asked them, and for my objectively correct moral compass, I'm like, I see what this is, and I mean, there's so many arguments about like what is and isn't, just like literally like because to me it's all degen, everything's degen to me, but like where it's like, dude, like it's like what I'm saying, it's not Shad Man, is what I'm trying to say.
So you would draw the line if it got further than where it already is.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I have drawn the line with like some people already before, so.
Okay. I just wanted to, I'm just wondering about that. It seems you do, that is like one thing, like that's really the only thing that I would say that ever I am struck by when I like see you like on SoundCloud or on Twitter or anything, is that you're like really cool as like a person and your music sounds good. It's just there is a huge representation of like this gooner stuff, this stuff, and that is kind of a little bit off-putting,
Well, I mean, like I said, like I find that apprehensible, like personally, but like also like I'm never gonna be an asshole. Like I said, when there's like I've got so many stupid like people I'm talking to, and it's just like, I think you're a degenerate, I think you're disgusting, but like who am I? I'm just a normal guy on the internet,
And to be fair to you, to be perfectly fair to you, there are plenty of weirdos in this scene, who maybe just keep it more on the down low than these
not on the down
do.
low. I mean, there are, certain people who have, taken steps a lot further than.
Oh yeah, no, totally.
I
But there's
mean,
there's definitely
I mean, you know
more
what
of
I'm talking. You know what I'm talking about right
yeah,
now.
yeah. I
And
know.
as much as I look at that, I'm just like, Jesus, like fucking Christ. Like also at the same time, like I can never like. It's one of the things why I can't like be like what a lot of people like, would do. It's like, okay, I'm leaving this scene. Like I came into Incelcore knowing that. Listen, in a scene like this with the subject matter and just sort of like what that general vibe is, there's going to be people that, I mean, you really shouldn't come into this thinking that the people who are saying these things are going to be like good people. Like you do have to understand, like you're kind of jumping into the goo. Like
Oh yeah.
you're going on like the east side. Like you're a darker place than, like I said, if you would just like
A bad
be,
neighborhood. Yeah.
yeah, a bad. You're like like you're gonna have to deal with some shit, but like, and if you want to fucking leave, like, go and say this is too much for me, and I don't like it, you can always go back and you could be like fucking Billy Cobb or fucking Cruella and shit, and just be like, I guess normal, and you can do that, or you just you thug it out, you say I know myself, I know like I know what I'm gonna do, what I'm not gonna do. I know where I stand, and I know what I'm gonna call. I know like I could see this shit, and I could be like, yeah, dude, like you're fucking crazy, and like get the fuck away from me. But it's like, hey, man, at the same time, like, A, you can't throw the baby out with the bathwater, and B, it's just like this is what you signed up for. Sometimes.
Sure. And I understand what you're saying too. I mean, and like speaking of bad neighborhood, NEET server, I don't know if you heard about this.
Oh,
It was just banned, or not banned, sorry.
I
It
think you
was
got rid of it.
deleted.
Yeah, deleted it.
And it allegedly it was because there was illegal material being posted on it like quite frequently, is what I've
Mhm.
heard. So obviously you're right. There's some very dark elements around here.
It's
And
funny. I've always said that the second anything sketchy goes on my Discord server, I'm getting rid of it. Gone like that. No second thought.
Really?
No, yeah. I've said that for everything. I was like, because I never wanted to fucking set up a Discord server in the first place. People told me to. I was like, this is probably a bad idea. And by the way, it was a bad idea. And I was like, if anything goes fucking bad here, this is gone. So
Gotcha. Got your finger on the
I
trigger.
respect that decision from NEET. It's exactly what's gonna happen to me, and I mean, inevitably. So enjoy it
Sure.
while it lasts, I guess.
Right. Okay, cool. That was really my last major discussion topic. Strep, do you have anything that we missed or that you'd like to go over with them?
I think what I was just gonna go back to was just circle back on like your thoughts on like live stuff, because I know you said you really like the sort of DIY nature of like, oh, I could be doing that too when going to like punk shows. You go to like local ones in your area?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. What do you think of that in terms of like someone who does like Incelcore, E-Punk, just on SoundCloud and whatnot? Like, are most of us just like recording artists, or should we even be like touching live stuff, or what do you think about that?
I mean, in a perfect world, if I could tell everybody what to do, I would tell them to do as much as possible. And like, I mean, personally, like, I love going to live things. Like, I wish, like, if there were more people in my area that were into this, like, I would love nothing more than to get to band and actually play like a real live show in front of real people with like all of it live. Because I think that's the coolest thing anybody could do. Like I said, when I go to those shows, I see them on stage. I'm just thinking like that. There's nothing cooler than that, like than those guys up there. And so like obviously I would like say like and that's what I want from the scene is like more people need to get together and like expand it. It's the next step that it should take. Like as much as it is cool, like as much as it is cool that like, all right, we're all in our bedrooms and doing things, like there's just nothing wrong with like taking the next step and making it something bigger, something more than it is. Like you shouldn't just stagnate. Like why should it, like that's why I don't like the gatekeeping. Like why should this stay what it is when this to me is the next real punk? Like it, like Incelcore and E-Punk is what like punk rock was in the 70s. Because like now, if you draw a straight line from like, you know, punk rock to now, obviously it's fucking corporate bullshit playing in stadiums and sanitized shit. It's not the same. That's why I kind of didn't want anything to do with that, because I was looking at this, and to me, being punk is kind of to be hated. Like, and if you look at it, yeah, like most people are, you know, like I said, it's kind of like like in theory, it's a bad idea to be associating with something called Incelcore and with these people, because like if I go to the fucking, you know, down the street and I'm like, oh yeah, I'm Incelcore, like, what's wrong with you? You know, like that's why these venues are getting like shut down and shit, because like it's just very controversial. But to me, that's what makes it real punk, because these people they have something to say, they're saying it, and they're being real about it. So like, they shouldn't try to give up and be like, well, if they don't want us, then all we are going to do is be confined to just being by ourselves. Like, no, fight back, say, you know, screw it. We're going to get together as a community and we're going to do more. All right. We're going to show you that we're not just a bunch of weirdo freaks by ourselves in our basements or something. We're going to show you that we're a real movement. And so I think it's stupid to stagnate like that. Like, you should like do more, like do as much like weird shit, like to push the ball forward as you can. Yeah, do new things. Have a band, you know, like do this. Like that's what like I always want to try to do more than like, I feel like when I just upload another song, I'm like, okay, I've already like I'm uploading songs and these songs just sound the same. You got to be constantly like progressing and trying to do more things. That's why I'm trying to like, okay, well, why don't I try to get better at like playing my songs in like a live stream? That's something cool. Like, it's something that people have done before. I was inspired by Below Ground to do that. I'm like, that's just a cool thing. I think that should be. I think that's more of it. And obviously, setting up more live shows is great. I want more of that. You know, like do more. Like be active.
Do you ever worry that we might, or the scene might lose its identity though by becoming larger and more, I guess, palatable to more people?
I don't know. Like obviously, like there's a happy middle ground. Like, because a lot of people want it to just be so like disgusting and degenerate, I guess. And like to make it so bad that like to like purposely like get the normies out or whatever. But like what does that get you? Is that all you want? You just want to be by yourself and just be a weirdo and just that's it? Like there's more too. I feel like there are, like I said, this isn't like it doesn't have to be this tiny corner of the internet with just a handful of weirdos. Like there is a message here. There's something that is to be said that I think it's a valuable message, and I think it should be like blast from the rooftops as loud as you can to get as much people to hear you as possible, so that maybe like, yeah, it will turn around, and yeah, maybe in fucking if 30 years it is sanitized and shit, but that's when you fucking take it out back and put a bullet in it, and then something else comes and takes its place, like what should be done with punk. You know, it's just a natural state of things. Like it's just fine. Like it's a cycle, honestly. But like, it's stupid to just like quit, you know, before anything's even gone. But it's stupid. It's stupid to sabotage before anything's even started. You know.
Sure.
Yeah.
Did you have any more questions, Strep, for Mr. Attire?
Oh no, I just thought that was I thought that was really good. What's it called? Yeah, my mind's blank. Sorry.
I do have actually one more question that I just thought of, saying your name. Where does your name come from? Why is it so long?
Okay, this is another. It is fucking way too long. I loved you shortened it in your song, because there's no way you're saying all that. But I did think about, okay, so my name, when a lot of things come from like when I was just a kid, and I just been holding on to them for like a long time. Like I never expected to get, even I'm just a normal guy on the internet. Like I'm nobody. Like even now, like I never even expected to get as far as I even have. But as so there's a lot of like things that like being a stupid, like you just daydream about and you think, oh, that'd be cool. One is the name Not the Proper Attire. When I was a kid going to school, I used to get in trouble a lot for
Dress code
violations. Yes, a lot. And I just a random phrase, like this actually happens a lot. I actually have a lot of like random phrases that I was like, oh, that's a good like song name or a good like title for a book or a show or something, like weird just little phrases. And inspired by me like always like, you know, dressing wrong, I thought just Not the Proper Attire. I was like, I thought That's a good band name. Not this. I was like 13, by the way. Not the Proper Attire. That's a good band name. And I was like, yeah, that'd be cool. Like, mind you, back then I barely even listened to music. I definitely didn't know how to play guitar or write a song or anything. I would just be like, if I had a band, they'd be called Not the Proper Attire. And so years and years later, when I started making music and things, I was like, well, guess I'll just use Not the Proper Attire. Why not?
Huh.
I like that. I like that. You know, I think it's a cool, weirard thing. You know,
That is
because I
kind of
think
like a cool callback.
yeah, exactly. Also, I don't like this. Actually annoys me. I actually watched I was actually at a show very recently with headlining Frank Turner, and it actually annoys me when people just like I guess use a name, and obviously most people in Incelcore don't use their real name. They'll make a name for themselves, but I think it's like kind of boring. Just to, I mean, no offense to you guys, to just use your name. Like I think it wouldn't be as cool as if I just uploaded my music as Inco Dinko. Like that's just not as cool.
I
Think it's cool.
completely agree.
I think it's cool to have a band name. You know, like it just sound like it's just fun. It's just fun to come up with. It's just a nice little thing.
Sure.
You know, like I'm Inco Dinko, and this is Not the Proper Attire. You know.
Gotcha. Okay, so Inco Dinko is your username.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Now I was wondering what that was. All right, gotcha.
Yeah, no, I'm Inco Dinko, but the music is Not the Proper Attire.
Oh, okay. Now
You should
now
probably
I
still
get it.
say that this is an interview with Not the Proper Attire.
Okay, yeah, right. For branding purposes. But
Of course.
all right, well, sweet. Well, awesome. Well, Mr. Inco Dinko or Proper Attire or whatever, it was great having you on, man. I think this was a very enlightening interview. I'm sure there's a lot of insights that a lot of people don't know about you. They'll be finding out through this.
I suppose so.
I just to conclude this then, if you would like to go ahead and give any promotions for any upcoming projects that you are working on, and go ahead and tell people where they can follow you and find your stuff.
Okay. First off, you can follow me. My main platform is YouTube. Just type in Not the Proper Attire on YouTube. Also, I'm on SoundCloud, and I upload most of my songs on all major streaming services: Spotify, Amazon, Apple Music. So you can just look up Not the Proper Attire, find my music there if you feel like it. Or subscribe to my YouTube channel if you want to, get things first, because I upload there first. And two, if you want to see like live streams and things, I'll always do it on there. You can follow my Twitter at Inco Dinko if you want to see my drawings or just me rambling while I'm drunk sometimes, or getting into arguments with random weirdos on Twitter. I do that sometimes. I do have something to say. I probably should have said this at the beginning of the show. I'm going to be on a big collaboration album that's coming out soon. Masato Core Volume 2. It's got Origami on there, Loser 64, tons of people
sick.
on there. I'm on there. That is going to come out soon. They told me not to say the date because it might be changed, but there's going to be 2 new Not the Proper Attire songs only on Masato Core Volume 2. Look out for that. Probably go check out Origami's thing. He's like doing the whole thing, so he'll probably have all the updates on that, because I'm just making the songs and giving it to him. But I would like to say Masato Core Volume 2 coming out very soon.
Is that on SoundCloud and Spotify?
He's definitely going to put it on SoundCloud and YouTube for sure.
Cool.
So look out for that. Origami. Tons of cool artists are going to be on there. I don't know if I could say all who's on there, but yeah. Tons of cool people, including yours truly, are going to be on there. So definitely look out for that. I will have 2 new songs on there. Awesome. Joe Rogan. So that's what I definitely wanted to put. But yeah, follow me on YouTube, Not the Proper Attire, Twitter, Inco Dinko. And if you just want to listen to my things on Spotify, you can, because they're on there.
Well, all right. Perfect, man. Hopefully everybody will go and show you some love on all of those platforms. You're a great artist. I listen to you all the time, man. So we wish you nothing but the best. Thanks again for taking the time out of your day to come on here, bro. It was very fun. I had a lot of fun. You're a great guy to talk to, man. You're so, in this scene, there's a lot of dumb shut-ins who don't talk
yeah, exactly.
much.
There are a lot of people who aren't as verbose or quick-witted.
Exactly.
Articulate, maybe on the ball.
Right.
I'd say.
I feel like we
But,
kind of match each other's energy pretty well.
dude,
I'm
yeah,
straight though. I
the
am
three of
straight.
us,
Sorry,
we
but
go freak for freak. Well, for now, but
okay, okay.
Yeah, wait a
Anyways.
month until we start like throwing hate at each other, something like that.
yeah. Well,
But,
you could get desperate enough. A lot of people.
Cannibalizing each other.
Nah, I think I'm good. But
Still say.
thank you so much for being on, dude.
Yeah, thank you for inviting me on. It's actually really cool. I didn't expect to be on. Especially, I feel like I have big shoes to feel considering your last episode. I mean, that was real. That was real stuff right there. The last episode. Now, everyone's
Yeah.
probably disappointed. They got like all that in the last episode. Like, all right, heck yeah, who they got in the next episode? Who the fuck is this guy? You know. So.
Yeah, well, we'll see. Maybe we'll get a bunch of views on this one. Who knows? Some carryover. But yeah, it's been great talking to you, man. So we hope to see you. We're looking forward to your imminent blow up on this scene.
Well, nothing's
It's coming, dude.
Nothing's guaranteed.
It's coming.
But all right, take care, man. Thank you again.
All right, love you guys. Thanks for having me on, Rose. Good show.
Well, okay, so that was an enlightening interview.
Oh yeah.
Couple of things that I wasn't really sure on, like the whole gay thing. I literally
He just came straight out with that. I wanted to be blunt,
dude,
and, like really blunt.
yeah,
but,
like just
yeah,
are you
he
gay?
just dropped it all casual like that.
I know. He said that he's like made a song that talks about it, but I've listened to his whole discography. It was never obvious to me, ever. I've interacted
Well, that's
with
the
him elsewhere.
thing. That's the thing is I feel like a lot of them feel like it's super obvious when it isn't. But like I said before, like I had some sort of sense going off. I'm like, this is gay. Like,
You've seen the anime profile.
yeah.
picture.
I saw the OC and I was like, this guy's doing something.
He's different, yeah. But no, it's I also, I mean, I told him it's a little weird to be like, he's like, oh, I've got a strong moral compass, but it'll crumble for the right price. It's like, come on. It is kind of funny though,
Yeah.
I guess. But
I mean,
personally,
it's only a matter of time before we find him on R34.
yeah, I know. Hopefully not. But
Hopefully
if his art career takes off, who knows?
Yeah. He gets one meme and it's over.
Yeah, right. That's cool though to hear about Misato Core. I didn't realize there's a second album of that coming out. That I feel like I'm pretty well connected at this point. The fact that I didn't hear about that kind of pisses me off. You heard about it or something?
No, I just had like an actually, I think someone might have told me about it. I'm not sure if I should say who it is because it might like fuck them over, but like
Oh, you don't got to reveal your sources.
yeah, let's just say like I know a few of the people who I think were on Misato Core. So I wouldn't let's just say like I wouldn't be surprised if they were doing another one.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Well, I'm looking forward to it. I've been a huge fan of Origami recently. I've listened to all his stuff, so the fact that he's heading it is that's going to be interesting. I'm looking forward to it. I love his music.
Yeah, Origami's cool.
Yeah.
What's it called? Let's just say like the people I'm expecting like Sorry Stereo to be on there, just like most of the people who were on the first one.
Sure. And I mean, that's to be
maybe
expected.
some new people and maybe a couple people dropped out or something.
Do you think it's going to be like Manson Family Murder Tapes where they try to start another spin-off of Incelcore?
I'm guessing it's going to be more similar to like Hallowed's album where it's a lot less Incelcore, if that makes sense.
Oh, okay.
Like in sound. Because like what's it called? A lot of the people I think associate with Origami are scene core to like sort of like almost shoegaze.
Gotcha. I know Origami himself he doesn't like being called Incelcore.
Yeah.
So yeah, it'll be interesting to see. I always love comp albums though, so I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah. It seems like a lot of those sorts of guys like kind of shift on like whether they like Incelcore or not.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
And
Like
yeah.
I know they like it, but they don't want to associate with it, sort of thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, in my opinion, I mean, you either make it or you don't. What you say has no bearing on whether your music is or isn't,
Yeah.
Incelcore or E-Punk or whatever.
Yeah,
So,
at this point it's like, nah, it's just do what you got to do.
yep, exactly. Well, I guess that pretty much concludes the interview then. I'm going to tell the audience, me and Strep are both on SoundCloud, so go ahead and follow us there. I myself just recently had a great collab with Cringer, so please go listen to that song. I'm really proud of it. It came out awesome.
Goes hard.
Yeah, I Cringer did a great job with it too, so I really enjoyed that.
I had that stuck in my head yesterday. Like,
sweet. You can go ahead and follow me on Twitter. You can follow me on YouTube. Also, I'm a YouTuber, so that's cool. That's really all for me. Strap, you want to go ahead and promote yourself? You got any upcoming projects?
There might be a Strep 3 in the works.
An album?
Well, album. Yeah.
Nice.
But what's it called? I have like half of it done. So
Okay.
we'll see if I crank out a bunch of songs.
And go ahead and tell
anytime in
people
the
where they
near
can
future.
follow
Oh
you.
yeah. Just literally anywhere. Like I'm on everything. Strepsiades.
I'm sorry, I keep mispronouncing your name, dude. Strepsiades.
No, it's all good. It's all good. Yeah. Just get used to saying D's at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mispronounced your name the one time in my song, and I just can't. I can't get it right.
No, it's good. It's good. I know what you mean.
Okay, sweet.
And besides, like I'm pretty sure, like most people can't even say it. Like they're just like
Right, strap.
Like that was like when I first met Hart, like in a VC, he was just like, "What the fuck is your name, dude?" Like it was funny, and I was like, "You could just say Strep."
Yeah. Yep,
He's like, "No, I want to say it right." So
Well, okay, sweet. Yeah, so go ahead and follow both me and him on all those platforms, and go ahead and follow the podcast. Again, remember, subscribe here on YouTube. Look on BitChute. There's definitely going to be some clips from this one on there. And also follow us on Twitter at E-CEL Network. Give us a follow there as well. And that is going to conclude this episode. So yeah, guys, I guess that's it.